Hello everyone and welcome back to Round Lake Beach, Illinois. The last time we were in this area, we were checking out the now abandoned but still very standing Super Kmart on Rollins Road. A store that has been closed for 10 years. As of 2023. Yeah, 10 years of the filming. It's now been closed for 11 years. But what if I told you there's a store just down the road from that Super Kmart that is even more super and perhaps has everything that Kmart did and more? Of course, I'm talking about the Meijer on Rollins Road in Round Lake Beach, Illinois. It's the biggest Meijer I've ever been to. I mean, I haven't been to a ton of Meijer. There's not a ton of them in the Chicagoland area. Of course, I've been to the one in McHenry, Rolling Meadows, quite often when I lived out that way. And I've been to one in Mackenzie Park, outskirts of Rockford. But this Meijer is huge and quite super, if you ask me. And there's a reason why I say that. Even though this Meijer, as huge as it is, doesn't have a quote-unquote super designation. Although I have seen references to it being called a quote-unquote super center. But I did a little Columbo-like research skills, yeah, just like Adam the Woo, and I found an old website for a real estate listing for that building that the Super Kmart on Rollins Road was on, and it is listed at 190,000 square feet. Want to take a guess at what size this Meijer is over here? Leave a comment. I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, that's enough. Did you leave your comment? Drum roll, please. 192,000 square feet. That is right. I also found a website with the grand opening announcement of this Meijer, and it does say indeed that it is 192,000 square feet. 2,000 square feet bigger than that Super Kmart. Now, I love Meijer. It's a fun store to go through. I definitely probably shop a little more at the Johnsburg Walmart than the McHenry Meijer, but I do a fair amount of shopping at both. And I totally understand that folks are not going to have the same type of nostalgia for Meijer as they do the old Kmarts. As I mentioned in that previous vlog, I have never been inside that old Super Kmart, but I have been inside this Meijer a few times, and we're going to go inside there this morning. Now, unlike my hometown grocery store vlogs, I am not going to be able to show you every single aisle here, but we're going to take a walk around. I do have a few random things to pick up if I can find them here. Yeah, you're just going to go on a little shopping trip with Memories by Wayne. And I've been wanting to do this for a while because, number one, it is really huge inside there. And number two, I just thought it would be a great follow-up to my Super Kmart vlog. A very super grocery store on Rollins Road, just down the road from that Super Kmart. Here at Memories by Wayne, we celebrate the living and we celebrate the unalived when it comes to retail, malls, and grocery stores. So let's get inside. And very similar to that Super Kmart vlog, it's also very early in the morning. 7:50. We're on the road. Now, to say this store is larger than McHenry is definitely not a statement. They even have a Starbucks over here, which McHenry does not. I would probably even dare to say that McHenry is kind of on the smallest side, but again, I don't have a ton of Meijers to compare it to. And it has been a bit of time since I've been to the Rolling Meadows or Rockford one. And these are your basic grocery aisles. I'm not going to be going through every single one of these. This video would be way too long. Obviously, generally, you probably get better prices at Walmart, but the one thing that I like about Meijer is when there's a sale, and there are a lot of sales, you can get some pretty good sales. And yeah, the layout of this place is completely different than Meijer and McHenry. The only actual grocery item I need today is milk. Yeah, February 10th, but the cap's all screwed up. No, February 11th, yeah, let's go with that. Yes, I am one of those people that always try to grab the latest expiration date. Please don't judge me. And here's the liquor section, but we are still in the grocery section, and it's actually split into two. That is definitely different than the one in McHenry. So this place is just crazy big, and I can't say 100%, but this has to be the biggest Meijer, at least in the Chicagoland area. Like I said, I did see a reference to it as a supercenter. Maybe they don't call all Meijer supercenters. But, you know, there is no Meijer that has a big super, you know, slapped onto the building like the Kmart's did. And so we're back at the produce section now, and the entrance where we came in. Of course, they have a ton of self-checkouts. They got a full floral department here, next to Cart and Party. One thing I'm looking for might be in one of these aisles here, in the home section. Yes, actually, right here. I need to price out hampers. Exciting, huh? Well, these are on sale. They're called a lamper, part basket, part hamper. Right about the price I wanted to spend. Because she wants 4 of them. Yeah, we have a lot of broke hampers, including some like this that have also broke on us. I'm just hoping it's big enough. Got the XL one here. It's 88 liters. This one's 70 liters. But the price jumps up quite a bit. Wife's not up yet. See if she gets my message before I leave here, and I'll maybe ask her. Next section I need to go to is the pet section, because this is my preference for cat litter. As far as quality stuff, a good value. 2 cats, 2 boxes, 2 bags. Trust me, that's not overkill. Sometimes it's on sale. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it is today. Definitely get the M-Perks app for your phone. You're able to scan items. It'll tell you if something's on sale or if there's a coupon for it. Pretty big toy section here. This is quite often with these department stores. All the clothing stuff is in the middle. Got a little bit of a clearance section here. Nice book section. And then we're getting into electronics. Okay. I've spent too much time digging down this rabbit hole. Not really any electronics I need right now anyway. They do have a very nice section. I definitely have picked up some accessories over the years for my computer and whatnot. Dude, you can still buy a portable AM/FM radio, a cassette player, and a CD player by GPX. That brand is very interesting. I used to get walkie-talkies that were that brand. That is so cool. Digital voice recorder. But it's so funny. I can't believe they sell this stuff. CD, radio, boombox. I feel like my childhood is like coming back now, I swear. Even my youngest daughter was like getting into CDs again. It's just so weird. Ooh, they got a weather band system. That's cool. And I was just gonna say, I would not be surprised if they sold the walkie-talkies here as well. And yep, they still have them. Midland, very familiar with that brand. They are not that cheap, even though they're not quite as practical. Unless you are going out to a terrain that doesn't have good cell signal. But they were very fun and quite a part of my teenage years, young adult years. I don't know, I'm gonna say probably early to mid 2000s. I had many of those walkie-talkies back in the day. Anytime I'd go somewhere with my family, I'd bring several along. And if we were just going out to Brookfield Zoo, I had quite a variety of them. Some fancier than others. Some that had the GMRS line. Some that were just the basic FRS ones. Of course, I would never use the GMRS channels because I didn't have the license, so that would never have been allowed. I definitely would never, ever have done that. You know, that's against the law and everything. Yeah, they do have a nice light bulb section here. Unfortunately, I very rarely see anything on sale. They do carry the GE line, which seems to be harder to find. Seems like a spot, you know, like Sylvania a lot more these days. They definitely carry a GE here. They do have a Meijer brand, but typically nothing's on sale, so I very rarely buy light bulbs at Meijer. Garden center. But yeah, I think you could probably understand why I say this is a super Meijer. Look at this huge shoe section, you know, and they got a full display over there for Skechers with TV screens and everything. Oh man, they are playing a really old Taylor Swift song right now, which of course I can't show you guys, unfortunately. Darn copyright. Especially now that I have monetization active, I gotta watch that even closer, right? But yeah, we've just about done the full loop here. Now we're into the makeup and general merchandise stuff, pharmacy, etc. Checkouts over there. And the last thing I need is actually here in the beauty section. And it looks like it's right over here. Definitely not the most exciting thing ever I picked up, but definite necessity. Yeah, cotton swabs. 500 count, one in the middle, fortunately not on sale. And that is your not officially, I don't believe, designated Super Meijer in Round Lake Beach, Illinois. Just down the road from the long since closed, but definitely not forgotten Super Kmart, Round Lake Beach, Illinois. Meijer is a really nice store. Definitely one that we should not have to worry about closing anytime soon. Well, the wife is up now. She does approve of the laundry baskets, but of course she also gave me another item to pick up. Not surprised at all. Should I turn this into a grocery store vlog channel? No, I promise I wouldn't do that to you guys, although it still probably gets more engagement than my nature walks. Oh, looks like the sun is out. It's supposed to be warming up. It's still a very chilly morning now. Yeah, the Kmart is just a little down that way. The now abandoned theater is right over there. Don't plan to document that anytime soon. It's become quite a hot spot due to people vandalizing it, unfortunately. They do patrol the parking lot around that theater quite a bit, so my recommendation, just stay away from it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Check out the Super Kmart video in Round Lake Beach if you want. I will link that in the description below. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.